And good morning, everyone. How are you all? It's been a while. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm Wave Meteorologist Brian Good. Welcome to the weather blog for this last day of July 2023. About ready to kick over to the new month here of August. Hope you guys have been well. So, a lot to cover. Nothing too extreme, but a lot of topics. We're going to get busier in the coming days and weeks ahead. And I do have a nice little sort of surprise. I'll leave it at that for you guys coming up tomorrow on the blog, so make sure to tune in for that. But yeah, I hope you guys are well. I've had a chance to get out and try to take care of all my kids, basically, at the sanctuary, animal sanctuary I seem to be running at home. Everyone's doing well. Gary, Harry, who else do I have? Tom. I don't know. I have all kinds of different animals out there. Dogs are doing good. I had a chance to, I was telling Tawana about this, I had a chance to get out there and clean my pond. Because I do a natural pond, I do not do filtration. So there's a lot of risk when you do a natural pond because you have to balance things out between the vegetation in the pond and with life. And that is very difficult to try to get it balanced out, especially when you get into a heat surge like I had while I was off. So that's always a lot of fun. But they're all doing well. Harry is... You'll have a chance to see him more often here very soon, but he's getting bigger, slowly but surely, but he is getting bigger and still taking care of eating all the grass in my yard, which is a nice little treat. Weather-wise, well, we've had, some showers and storms roll through the area. I don't think I've seen too much where I've been traveling. I was up in Ohio. I had some nasty thunderstorms traveling in that area, but overall here locally, I haven't seen too much in the way of big severe weather events, which is good. This has been all about really just a hot, humid air, right? But that in itself has taken a break from us. So I'm back to at least give you, hopefully, guys, some good news, and I'm excited about that. There's Tawana. Hey, Tawana. Thanks, Tawana, for taking care of everything while I was out, especially for the midday shows. I know it's a long day when you have to do that. Hey, Dan. Hope you're doing well. Hello, Lauren. Laura, thank you very much. Good morning to you. Hello to Stephen as well. Again, your comments are right there. Oh, good morning, Marianne. Sorry, I didn't see your comment. You guys can always comment on social media, Facebook. Is it Twitter or is it X? That all happened while I was gone. Is it X? Is that what you say now? So if you send a tweet, do you say XX tweet? Or I got to be careful with that. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, I got to let me know what the lingo is because I'm not hip. So anyway, YouTube is on there as well. All right, so let's start off with how about a look out at the radar? That's always fun. And it's actually a really cool shot. We're at the time of the year we're going to start to see more of the birds taking off right in the morning hours near the radar beams. And that's what happened this morning. Sunrise, I believe we do have the purple martins that are out, especially in the northern part of Jefferson County and Oldham. But it's cool that right at sunrise, all the radar sites capture the moment they lift off the ground. In some cases, these can even be pigeons that take off to the morning flight. But a very cool time of the year to be able to see that. When it's not overly humid, you're able to see that. When it's really humid, it makes the signal a little rough there to see. But that's a good sign because we're able to see the birds. That does tell us that the air has very little in the way of high humidity content to it. So that's going to keep things nice and pleasant for us. We're a nice little drop that's happening into the Ohio Valley, and we're going to see one of the cooler nights really tonight into tomorrow morning. May get another bonus night Tuesday into Wednesday. Still seeing some possibility of some folks getting down into the 50s, which hopefully no one's going to complain, especially since our ACs have been non-stop as of late. So that's good. So we will see some refreshing air here for the next few days. Still warm afternoons. You're still going to be sweating in the afternoon. It's still going to be somewhat humid. You're going to feel all that. It's the mornings this kind of weather pattern makes a difference in. Now, meanwhile, to the west, it will be active with showers and storms still building on the edge of the heat. This has been the theme really past several months where you get these complexes of storms that dive down. I don't know what that was. Dive down across areas of the Midwest and head to the south and east. Your severe risk will be mainly along and south of their path. They're going to be feeding on higher humidity, the more heat type scenario. We do not have that here in our area, so they will do some nice U-turns as they try to at least approach our region on the western side. Looks like they're going to hit us, and then they suddenly turn and head south. And that's the theme until we get everything to shift a little more east. And we will see that happen as the week wears on. So that will bring the storm zone, wave of machine, whatever, back in the area, and it will bring in some more of the heat and humidity before we see everything kind of just flatten out a bit more down the road. You cannot see the tropics. There are two waves out here in the Atlantic. One has a chance to develop. One likely will develop way out in the central Atlantic. Right now, neither seem to be an issue for other than shipping concerns and perhaps eventually problems for Europe if they hold together down the road, but nothing for the eastern seaboard. So they may get some headlines here in the next few days, especially if they get named. But again, it's not anything urgent for the lower 48. Meanwhile, our issue is just the idea the jet just keeps buckling up. You get these showers and you get these storms dive down. You got the strong, constant flow that we've had here into the eastern part of Canada, where it's been allowing for these systems to keep just diving in around them. And at times when it leaves us alone and moves away, we know what happens. The heat takes over. The heat's just waiting to expand. That's what heat shields and heat domes do. They just need room to stretch their legs. And when this low pressure moves out of the way, it comes right into town. But it's also stronger than the heat dome. So when it backs back up again or it gets reestablished, the heat takes another back seat once again. And that's the case we're going to see here for the next few days. Let me walk you through Futurecast. Pretty quiet. You can see the storms, almost every little round that forms moves in. They develop across Missouri, then dive to the south and east. Nice and quiet here. Beautiful skies for a lot of us. We may get some high-level blow-off cirrus clouds that may come off these storms that may blow in here from time to time. So it may not be a perfectly blue sky into wave country, but it actually will not be a bad one at all. Most of the storms, again, stay to our west through at least Wednesday. Once we get to the end of the week, the shifting to the east idea starts to happen, and then we'll have to just see how that plays out for thunderstorm timing, especially Friday, parts of Saturday. As these storms begin to become a little closer to us. The heat will also become a little more of an issue, back to around 90 or so for highs. And then look how everything looks a little more flat down the road. And that is the key in the extended, is instead of a really sharp angle, we should get a little more of an east-west flow. Now, there's good and bad on that. The good is that most systems move fast in that type of setup. They don't stall. The bad is that you can get into a little more of a rainier pattern. Although I think really at that point, we're going to need at least some rainfall. I haven't had a ton. I know some of you have been hit a lot here lately, but looking at my stats, at least in my house and parts of Jefferson County, I really have been underplayed there on the rain compared to what we had before we got into the heat of this most recent round. So I think at this point, certainly in August, we would welcome a little bit of rain there, but that's far out. I mean, this is all the way to August 8th. So I know we got to keep an eye on that. And for the kids going back to school, we got Greater Clark is tomorrow. Greater Clark, I think tomorrow is. Bardstown is this week, Bardstown City, and then we got JCPS next week. So, yeah, now we got to really start paying attention to some of these, not only temperatures on heat, but also keep an eye on the storm machine. Here's the overall snapshot on the temperature trend. It's easy to see how we have the cooler, somewhat cooler than normal, only about a degree or two. And then you see how the heat builds toward the weekend where that everything shifts east, but then we try to reestablish and get back down to more normal levels after the weekend. Rain chances will actually follow, fairly similar to what the heat shield will be. The leading edge, when it builds in, you get a storm chance, you get it relaxed, and have another round when it begins to exit. So not overly high. These chances will go up, though, once we get into the day of the event. We just can't really pinpoint timing right now, but once we're able to, you'll see those spikes more than 50, 60%, something like that, will begin to kick in. Jonathan Wright, Greater Clark was started back Wednesday last week. Okay, last week. All right, thank you. See, I'm trying to play catch up. I knew it was coming up soon, but then I left, so I didn't know how soon it was. So I hope all is going well for Greater Clark there for you guys. All right, kids. I'm assuming it's mostly kids that are watching. I want to thank you all again for hanging tight with me this morning. Good to see you all. I'll be a little more involved this week as we get some quieter time. I'm going to talk a little more about El Nino and its impact, so we could see in the long term. And obviously, we're going to get into some of my other favorite topics as well and for the coming weeks and months ahead. I'm about to start that soon. So there's your warning on that. All right, guys, that's it. Nice and quiet. Get outside and enjoy it. Save on that energy bill out there. Again, let the windows up when you're able to, especially in the evening. I'll be back coming up on midday at 11 a.m. I will see you then. Behave yourselves, and I'll see you guys coming up on the flip side.